Good morning everyone, welcome back to another vlog here in Calcutta. In our last video, we were checking out the city through a night street food tour. In today's video, we'll be exploring it by day and checking out all the wonderful sights here in Calcutta.
Alright, so probably the most important thing to know about Kolkata is that this was the first capital of British India when the British were ruling here. So you'll see tons of colonial architecture, and we're now at the Victoria Museum, and this is an example of that colonial architecture. So Queen Victoria was actually Empress Victoria here in Kolkata, and when she died in the very early 1900s, they wanted to put up a monument for her. So it took years and years to build, but it is made completely out of marble, and it is actually the biggest monument to a monarch in the entire world. It is beautiful. It has been turned into a museum.
So we haven't even walked inside the building yet, but I gotta say, you could spend quite a bit of time just walking around the gardens.
We've actually seen some people come and they just have a picnic blanket and they're just sitting around. I mean, for us it's really expensive to get in here as foreigners, but if you're a local person, it's really cheap. And then it makes just a beautiful park to hang out in.
Alright,
I think I'm gonna leave. All of the school children here, and that means that photo requests are coming very soon, so we're gonna leave.
I like their uniforms though. They're all purple and color coordinated and very, very snappy dressers. No, dapper dressers. So we just finished our visit of the inside of the Victoria Memorial Palace Museum.
Not a palace, just Victoria Memorial.
And it's really cool. It's a beautiful building, both on the outside and on the inside.
Yeah.
Got really nice tall ceilings and just beautiful colonial architecture.
Yeah, and those big mirrors in the middle.
It's hard to see at first, but there's a big mirror obelisk right in the center of the main dome. And it's neat how it's designed because when you look at it, it kind of blends in with the background. You almost don't even realize there's a central mirror in the middle.
It's it's reflecting obviously what's behind you, and what's behind you is perfectly lined up with what you should be seeing in front of you if there was no mirror there. Mm-hmm. So it makes it this strange effect as if you're looking at what you should be seeing, but there's actually a mirror in front of you. It's really cool.
It's very, very neat.
Yeah.
But anyways, before we explain the inside, we want to say that the most important thing you need to know about Calcutta is that they love this man, Subhasa Chandra Bose. He's the biggest thing here, bigger than Gandhi, and for really good reasons. He's actually a big hero to the Indians. He was a big Indian national and played a significant role in liberating India from British rule back in the day. So now that you know that, the inside of the Victoria Memorial is ironically nothing to do with Queen Victoria herself.
Nope.
It's more so to do about the liberation of India from Britain's rule, and a lot of it is about this man, Subhasa Chandra Bose.
It's really actually quite neat. It's you walk into this colonial building who has this queen, this empress outside, and the moment you walk inside, it's just the liberation from the Brits.
Bose. It's you expect Victoria and her life and blah blah blah. No. It's nope.
Here's how they got away from that. It's cool. I think
it's really cool.
Yeah, as people visiting India, it really gives you a lot of perspective on the last 150, 200 years in terms of kind of what India has gone through and then how they got out from under British rule. So we learned a ton.
So we've left the grounds and are headed to lunch, and it's just a bit of whiplash because the grounds were so was so quiet and peaceful, and then now out here you're reminded we're in the middle of a big city. Okay, so now that we're walking around the streets of Calcutta, one thing that we've noticed is they've got really cool looking taxis. They're these really old school buggy kind of yellow taxis. It almost feels like we're in New York City, but way further into the past. So speaking of modes of transportation in Calcutta, we've learned that there are very many ways to get around the city. So you have your taxis like we showed you, cars, you got lots of bikes, but what you don't see on the road too often around these parts here in central Calcutta are tuk-tuks. Now there are tuk-tuks around in Calcutta, but it's kind of different. They operate a little differently here than they do in other cities that we've seen in India. They actually are more almost like a bus route, because the tuk-tuks have predetermined paths that go between neighborhoods. So around these streets, there's hardly any tuk-tuks, which is a huge change from a place like Delhi, where we were not too long ago, which had an insane amount of tuk-tuks in the road.
So we arrived at Park Street, which we were hoping to find some lunch. But Park Street here in Kolkata is definitely more one of the upscale areas of town. Lots of really like high-end hotels are here, and lots of shopping. We're hoping to find somewhere to eat.
So we just finished lunch at Wow Momo. They had like some pretty spectacular deals going on.
Yeah.
And the lunch was so good. So a Momo, if you don't know what a Momo is, it's like almost like a dumpling.
Yeah.
But you can have it steamed or fried. We had it steamed.
Yeah.
It's very popular here in India, and we've also had it in Nepal. It's very, very popular in Nepal. So we saw like some fast food momos and couldn't really help ourselves.
They were delicious though. They were sold Momo burgers.
Yeah.
So it was like a burger made of 2 momos inside, and then you got cheese on top and some sauce. It was actually really good.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
We had those fast food momos really because we wanted something like quick and easy. But if you're looking for like authentic, delicious Calcutta foods, make sure you check out our other video where we did a night street food tour and we tried a whole bunch of different Calcutta foods. So good.
Also in Park Street here, you can get really high-end restaurants as well. So if you're coming to Kolkata and you want to have a delicious restaurant, this is a good choice. We just wanted something fast. So we're just walking, making our way to the India Museum, which is our next stop of the day. And we've come across this market. We don't know the name of it. It seems to be an informal market, but you can get, again, pretty much anything here. There's belts and lots of clothes and lots of phones and wallets and all sorts of stuff. There are lots of these markets in Kolkata, we've noticed. We've seen quite a few of them as we have meandered the city. Okay, so the next stop is called the India Museum. We have heard incredible things about it. We should learn a lot. Unfortunately, we can't take you, but we did buy an extra ticket that allows us to take pictures, so we'll show you those in a minute when we're done. It's been an hour and a half for us and 1 minute for you.
Alright, we're on our way to the last stop of the day, but really quickly, thoughts about the India Museum?
Okay, so I think if you're a local person, it's probably great because the price is like 1/10 of what we paid. For the price of a foreigner, I would definitely say that this morning's visit to Victoria Memorial, way better, way more worth it.
Absolutely. I feel like they kind of lied to us with the name because you think India Museum, it's a museum about India.
That's what we thought. It wasn't.
But it really wasn't.
It kind of felt like a natural history museum. I mean, my favorite part by far was the taxidermy. Like, the taxidermy was just so off point.
It was so bad.
Oh my god. It was fun to walk through, and like there was lots of interesting, entertaining stuff. But I think like we wanted to learn more about India. That is not possible there. That is not what you go to the India Museum for. So that was our bad for just not knowing.
If you're a local family, I think that'll be good, but otherwise, I think it's skippable.
It's missable on the visit to Calcutta.
Okay, we've made it to the last stop of the day. This is the Princep Ghat. And if you're watching our Varanasi vlog, you know that a ghat is a series of steps at the edge of a river that leads down to the water. We're not quite at the ghat yet, but out here, you can see behind me, is the Princep Monument. So Princep was this English scholar. He did a lot of things in India, did a lot of studies, especially with coins, and he was also an architect. Past the monument, we're heading over to the Ghat, and supposedly that will have a really nice view of a sunset and the bridge over the Hooghly River, which is a big river that runs through Calcutta. So this is actually a really pretty area, like by the river. It's like almost like a long park with lots of benches and people just looking over the water, watching the sunset.
Yeah, it's like a walkway. And I don't know how long it goes for, but it seems to go on for a long time.
We went to the first Ghat and it looks like it's blocked off. And we heard that you could normally take a boat ride along the water, but since it's blocked off, there was nobody there. Like no boat people, so...
But there's like Princep Ghat 1 and Princep Ghat 2. So we're headed to 2 now.
See if we can get a...
Fingers crossed it's open and we could maybe get a boat ride.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look, people are going.
Oh.
Yay, I think we found it. People are getting on boats. They look crowded and big, but hey, it's a boat. Cool. Well, we got a boat ride. I don't think it's just us.
All right, guys.
That wasn't so bad.
Not so bad. We got a boat ride.
400 rupees later.
400 rupees, not too bad. We saw online that somebody got it for 300, but
it was after dark, so I think because
true.
it's sunset right now,
Search.
the sun should be setting in 20 minutes. We have 30 minutes, do you think, on the boat?
I think so. I have
We
no
didn't
idea.
negotiate the time frame.
Just pointed at the boat. We went like this, and he's like,
Also, we were informed we had to put these life jackets on, but if you've seen our Wakachina video, I had a life jacket on with there was no zipper on my jacket, and that is happening again. I just don't get the point of wearing the life jacket when it doesn't zip up.
I think it's more of a hazard,
I'm
really.
so annoyed, and it's hot.
Really quickly before we let you go, thoughts on Calcutta?
Kolkata is a great place to come. I think that the architecture is what really makes this place stand out for me. And obviously, I mean the food that we had on our food tour
so good.
in our last video was just out of this world. I absolutely loved it.
The city's so interesting too. It's so different than any other Indian city that we've visited thus far. I feel like it's a bit more calmer, more peaceful.
I agree.
And there are lots of cool buildings to look around.
Yeah, to see.
We've only really scratched the surface of Calcutta.
Yeah, of Kolkata, I agree. This is a great way to kind of end a day. If you are coming to Calcutta and you only have one day to really explore, as we've had, this is a beautiful way to end that day.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you on the next one, which will be in Mumbai.
Bye! See you guys there. Also, as a quick aside, this seems to be a place where young locals come to cuddle their partner in those small little edges of the property here. When you really look closely, you see all these little couples just hanging out next to one another here. So I think this is the hangout spot for teenagers.
It's a slightly PDA-esque kind of free spot.
Which is very rare here. So this is the first time we've seen a place like this in India.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got to have their place, right?
Every city has their place
For PDA.
when you're a teenager.